Good evening. I'm Barbara Walters.
I'm John Stoss.
And I'm Elizabeth Vargas, and this is 2020.
It's the month before Christmas, and out on the street is a band of friends looking for something to eat. They're wrapped in warm clothing. They're not short of cash. But what's on the menu tonight is the trash.
Got a lot of greens here. Everyone greens?
Get your free bagels.
Oh, it's certified organic red chard. My favorite.
This is definitely not the kind of holiday outing that winds up in verse on a greeting card. It's after 9 o'clock at night, temperatures in the 20s. You live in a comfortable home. What's the point of being here?
We're making a statement to people. We're part of a network of people that are helping to build solutions to this overconsumptive, wasteful society and proposing different values.
Toss the salad.
These people call themselves freegans, a combination of the word free, which is what the food is, and vegan, meaning someone whose diet never includes animal products, although not all members are vegans. They retrieve food from the trash piles of supermarkets and restaurants and eat it themselves.
We've chosen everything that might be good, and then we just sort of go through it, and people take whatever they think is reasonable.
Sushi is dated yesterday, but it's a veggie roll, which doesn't go bad very easily.
Some people use it for their own needs. Sometimes we're on the subway and we give it to homeless people.
There's enough, they say, so that they would never have to buy food. But on the other hand, this is the trash. Are you worried that the food might make somebody sick if you give it to them?
The sad thing is that, and the outrage, is that corporations running these supermarkets are throwing away perfectly good commodities.
I know I've heard that, but just give me an answer. Are you worried that the food that you give to somebody might make them sick?
Stores are throwing away perfectly good foods that haven't spoiled, that have nothing wrong with them. And
we'll get back to that later. But we wondered, how serious is the problem they're protesting? How much food do Americans waste?
In our overall food system, we're probably losing in the range of 40 to 50%.
That figure is so staggering that Dr. Timothy Jones of the University of Arizona conducted a study to try to quantify food loss at every level of consumption.
It is a really big issue. In terms of economics, we're talking at least $100 billion a year.
The study showed that American families are among the worst offenders, that an average family of 4 throws out $600 worth of good food every year, and that 14% of that is food that hasn't expired or even been unpackaged.
You buy it, and then you get it home, and you set it in the cabinet, and it sits there and sits there and sits there, and then once or twice a year you start to clean everything out, and you go, I'm not going to eat this, I don't even know how to fix it. So you turn around and you throw it out.
Commercially, the study showed convenience stores waste the most food, followed by fast food chains. Supermarkets are among the most efficient because increased competition has forced them to cut waste, with a loss estimated at 1 to 2%. And in fact, there are people trying to make use of it. City Harvest in New York collects 20 million pounds of surplus food each year from supermarkets and restaurants and cooking schools.
Coming down.
It's distributed to community food programs that feed more than 250,000 people a week, free, and with one important extra. Food safety inspections are part of that process. So is it tempting to point that out to freegans who are rifling through trash for food?
We're not food cops. I'm not a food cop. But I'd love to tell them it's not a good idea to do that, because they're placing themselves at risk.
We're going to start with this salad with a grapefruit mojo dressing. Then we're going to have ratatouille wraps, some beets à l'orange.
Most of the freegans we talked with said they salvage not just food, but other usable merchandise from the trash. In this group, preparing a lunch from the street food it collected, Alexis Cole is a church music director whose boyfriend went to culinary school.
I'd say 90% of our kitchen is full of things from the street. We still buy a few staples like orange juice.
Okay, bon appetit. Bon appetit.
Now, the freegans say they do this and they never get sick.
It's like somebody going through a red light and boasting that they went through a red light. Sometimes you go through a red light and nothing happens, and sometimes you go through a red light and something disastrous can happen. It's a risk. It's actually a gamble.
Soon, no doubt, these bags will be full of fruitcakes from the holiday season gone by. Dr. Jones, who did the food study, says he hopes that people will plan better for what they need and use. Nearly 200 years ago, it was a French food connoisseur who wrote, "Tell me what you eat, and I'll tell you what you are." In this season when consumption is at its height, he might have added that what we are is also what we waste.